Hi there. I'm Susan Martin. I am a childbirth educator, a lactation educator and counselor, and a pre and perinatal educator in Los Angeles, California. And today I want to just speak to you about why I chose to teach the Bradley method. Today I was teaching my families, and it's always such a lovely time to spend that time with them. And I think it's so important. And I specifically chose to teach the Bradley method. Um, and I looked at a lot of different childbirth preparation courses. And so I just want to tell you a little bit about why I chose that. The Bradley method was a really big influence on me in my pregnancy. I read this book, which was Natural Childbirth, The Bradley Way. This is the original one by Susan McCutcheon. I love this book. I have a signed copy of it as well. And then I also, and this is our newest book, Natural Childbirth, The Bradley Way, which is the updated version that was updated in 2017, I believe. And my neighbor told me about this book and about the Bradley method. And I read that book and I was like, oh, this is totally for me. And at that time, I got a referral from someone about a Bradley teacher, and we met with her. And I'll be really honest with you, she did not teach the 12-week course. I don't know how many times we met with her. It was not a lot, definitely. I'll be generous and say 4, 5 times, maybe 6. I can't remember. I mean, I have a memory of 3 occasions. This is what's in my mind. Of course, that was several decades ago, so my memory could be a little bit, I don't know. And I found, we were excited. We were naive. We didn't ask a lot of questions. There wasn't the internet. Wasn't a big thing then. That was 1998. I was not even aware of anything about that. And so I trusted my teacher. She was a nice person, but I don't know why the course was short. And what we did find out through our labor, having a shortened course, I did have a spontaneous birth. I did have a natural delivery, but there were a few traumatic elements to it that could have been avoided had we had all the information. And also postpartum, it would have been nice to have the information, along with a whole bunch of other things that I didn't learn because we didn't have a full course. So I had my first baby in the hospital. My second baby was 4.5 years later. We ended up having a planned home birth with midwives at home. And that delivery was really easy and really lovely and a really healing experience. And I knew I was already been percolating in my mind before that to become a childbirth educator, but that birth cemented it. Before I became a childbirth educator, I volunteered and helped out with breastfeeding through one of the major breastfeeding organizations, and I still do that. And I'm also certified in lactation, and breastfeeding is one of my passionate subjects, and I do talk about and prepare couples in my childbirth education courses as well for breastfeeding. So when my children were about 7 and 10 or 11, I decided, hey, I could integrate becoming a childbirth educator into my life. It was really important to me to do a good job and be able to pay attention, to be able to focus. My mothering is hard work. So I looked at lots of different childbirth education methods because I didn't just assume that I would teach the Bradley. Bradley was always a huge influence in my life. Remember, I didn't get the full 12-week course, and I did a lot of learning and preparation on my own as well. And I thought about my birth experiences too, as I was figuring out who I wanted to train with, who I wanted to represent. I knew that I wanted a more structured program. I really wanted to make sure I knew what I was teaching, that I had the force and knowledge of an organization that had an excellent reputation for helping people, new parents, have good birth experiences and a good new parenting experience. So I looked at so many different organizations, and I really came down to really everything that was in the Bradley Method, Husband Coach Childbirth, which I read for the first time before when I was choosing organizations, and rereading Natural Childbirth Bradley Way, and many other books from other organizations. But it really came down to the fact that everything in the Bradley Method was essential, it was true, and it was thorough and super practical. So my experience as a parent is the practicality of it, like everyday life with my babies and my children and my husband, and making sure that we're communicating well and functioning well as a family, and that the Bradley Method is really true to this. It was always a partner-based method, approach. Everything in there honors normal physiology in pregnancy and labor and birth, breastfeeding, postpartum, and it was super practical. And that amount of time is really important. So when I showed up at my training and I really saw the student workbook and I saw the level of information that as a teacher I was going to be required to impart to my couples, I was pretty shocked. I felt even a little betrayed and upset that I didn't get all that information. And I know my husband felt that way too, because we've talked about it so many times since then. He's like, well, I would have done this and I would have done it if only I had known. Like, I was really prepared. I worked on my relaxation. I was totally focused. I did a lot of things. But I'll tell you, in our first labor and delivery, my husband was not prepared. We didn't spend a lot of time on labor rehearsals or doing a lot of practical things that need to be done. So this is really important to me, that for the labor and birth, yes, you are prepared, and that your partner is prepared. And also so that you have all of this information ahead of time to be able to make informed decisions with your partner, and make decisions about during your pregnancy, during labor and delivery, for postpartum, and that you are prepared. Because when you're prepared and when your partner is prepared, you're in a really good space. It's not what's happening for a lot of couples in the United States. And that I know who I meet through my breastfeeding help, is that a lot of people are dealing with not being prepared. They feel overwhelmed. Their partner is kind of drifting away, and there's not really good communication. So this whole series is designed to make you grounded and prepared and ready to be parents. And that's what I really love about it. Yes, we talk about natural birth because really that's the default. I mean, your body is designed to give birth. Your body knows how to do this. You work with your baby. Your baby's so smart. Your baby's going to figure out how to be born. And that the two of you are working together through the whole birth experience. And I really want this to be a really positive, good experience as much as possible in this transition to new parenthood, because it is huge. It is potentially super overwhelming, and a lot of people don't have enough supports, and we haven't been shaped, or there's not the constructs in our culture to support new parents, which you deserve. You really do. So I want to make sure that you are prepared as a parent, however your birth goes, because we can't control every aspect in birth and labor and delivery, but we can control our intention. We can control our preparation. We can control our response to one another, and making sure our partner knows what to do. And so I really, really want to encourage you that when you're looking for childbirth preparation course, to not just focus on a birth class that just goes over a few birth things, or quickly, that you really are thoroughly preparing, because those 12 weeks, that 3 months, that 90 days is going to go by, right? So it takes that long. It takes 90 days, 3 months, 12 weeks to prepare whole new neural pathways in your brain to help you prepare to be as a parent. If you're interested in natural childbirth, which I really recommend, there's so much negativity in our culture and fear, and I have very tender, beautiful young women in my classes who want a natural birth but are afraid maybe they can't do it, and I have other women in my class who are really wanting to avoid a cesarean birth, or maybe their main concern is to make sure breastfeeding goes really well. So wherever your fears are, your concerns are, those needs will be met in class. right? And this class is for you, so you feel that groundedness, you feel that connection with your partner, which is one of the things I really love about class, because couples really find out, oh, I got so close to this class. And those 12 weeks go by, and you're going to have this beautiful baby, this beautiful child in your life. And the real work begins, that all of that parenting, which starts in pregnancy, continues through labor and birth, and then that whole rest of the time that you're working with your child as your child develops and grows. And I really want this to be the very best experience possible for you. It's super important. And your baby's counting on you. Your baby loves you. Your baby wants to be loved. And when you dedicate this time to preparing, you're dedicating that to your baby. And it's such a deep, beautiful way of respect and preparation, and really letting your baby know how important they are to you. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to doing more videos and sharing time with you. And thank you so much for watching my channel. Have a wonderful day.